Girls rock. Okay, so what you're going to want to do in order to print labels, you're going to go to freedomfiler.com. Right, so let's be back out. So freedomfiler.com, right? When you get to freedomfiler.com, you're actually going to go to products, or I'm sorry, you're going to actually go to tools, and you're going to go to print labels. Now the templates in Freedom Filer are awesome. So you're always going to do your 5th cut labels, but what you're going to want to do is choose what your word processor is. Are you Microsoft Word? Are you Pages version 5 or Pages 9? You're going to choose whatever one you are. I'm Pages. So I'm going to do Pages, and I'm going to look for 5th cut tabs. I'm going to click on the 5th cut tabs, and it's actually downloading the template for me in Pages. And hold on, I got to pull it over. So it pulled it over to a different place.
Everything. This man is a genius.
Yeah. Oh, I can't pull my template over. Either way, you've opened up your template, right? So does everyone have their template open? Let's see, maybe I can share screen. Wow, this won't move over. Interesting. Okay, well, either way, so your template should be open. And it says edit label title right there on the template. All you have to do is erase that and start typing. So type, let's say bills to pay.
So whatever you're showing us, we're not seeing.
I know, I can't move my template over.
So if you stop sharing your screen and then start sharing your screen again with the tab that you're actually clicking in, we'll be able to see what you're doing. I think you shared one specific window, which is not allowing us to see what you've just
You're the best. Okay, hold on. Coming over.
I'm the digital girl.
I know, girl, I know. Okay, share screen. I'm going to share this desktop. Share. Okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
Now, do you see the label template here?
We'll click to where you're playing, where you're trying to type.
Right here. Bills to pay.
We're still seeing the other one.
You are? Oh, lovely.
You may have shared a different screen because usually you get choices of which screens.
I know. I thought I shared this one. Okay, hold on. I will. Ooh, let me get back over here. Stop share. Stop share. And then I'll come back. See, this is why I have tech people with me. Okay, so desktop 2 is what? Oh, here, Google Chrome label temp. Let's maybe this one. Okay, now can you see the labels?
I think it's the same one. I see labels, but
wow, this is crazy. And well, let me move it either. Well, can everybody open up their label template? That's the question. Yes?
I have mine open. Yes.
Does everybody have their template open?
I don't, and I can't recall. I feel embarrassed to say this, but I can't recall
so choose
where
what
it's
you're
located.
Choose what your
And I think I'll lose Zoom if I go on.
You won't. You won't. No.
You mean I just go to?
Yeah, it'll be like Zoom will be behind.
Oh, we see it, Kathy.
Yes, right.
Okay. So you see how it says type in whatever. I just typed in bills to pay. Then I went tab. Then I'll put data entry. Then I'll go tab, whatever, right? So even though there's a typo. So once you get it typed in, you don't have to change font or anything. Just tab, 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 tab. And then you're just going to go print. And you're going to put your labels in. So always put an arrow on your piece of paper. Do a test run always. So I always start with putting a big old arrow on my piece of paper before I put it in the printer. And this is saying this is down, right? So I stick it in my printer and I do a test run to make sure that things are working. So I'm going to do a test run just to show you then what I would do next.
I love
Kathy.
Is hiding.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
Where do I find this template? I feel like I should know, and yet I don't.
So you go to freedomfiler.com and then you go to tools.
Okay.
And then you choose what format you are. Are you Word or are you Mac?
I'm PC, Microsoft PC.
You have Microsoft Word?
And
So
no,
you're
but
gonna
I'm using a PC. I'm using a Word compatible program.
Okay, so you're gonna open up the Microsoft Word template.
Okay, looking for it. I'll find it later. And now that I know where to go, thanks. I
You
don't
go
want to
under
waste time.
tools. So you just
Mhm.
go under tools, print
Yeah.
labels. And then scroll down and choose Microsoft Word. Okay. Now I'm
Okay.
going to go back and then,
Thank
and then
you.
there's your template, and you don't change any fonts, don't change any tabs until you actually print it to see what's going on. And I'm going to see what's going on with my printer. It's looking for my printer for some reason. My printer hasn't been on for a little while. So
And when we get our packs in the mail, it will already have some of these already complete. This is just if we need to do new ones, right?
yes, a lot of them are already printed, but like I said, what Seth keeps doing is changing nomenclature. So
Okay.
instead of bills to pay, it just says pay. It just says calls. It just says event. He's
Okay.
changed. You know, I'm old school. I've been doing this 17 years, so I like what I've come up with. But everybody's different, and everybody wants to call things different things. But we all have bills and calls and data entry and projects and research and waiting. Some people, corporate people, like to call it pending. I like to call it waiting for response because pending's way too corporate for me. So it just depends on how you want to say it. But you see how we have all these blank labels here that are available. So every single category has blank labels waiting for it. And you can run these sheets through and through and through. See, I've already used half of this orange sheet. And I can just keep running it through. So what happens is, I don't know why my printer is offline. This doesn't make any sense. Hold on. What happens is you can just run it through and through and through. So take, for instance, you can still see my screen, right? With bills to pay.
Correct.
So take, for instance, I've already used that one. I count like 4 down. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm on row 6. I'm going to go waiting. And then I'm going to go whatever, data entry. And then I have to, of course, erase all these. And then I can print more. So, oh boy. I don't know why that printed the wrong thing. Let me see, let's do this. So I'm going to print that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up to make sure that it's in, so that it's in the right space, so that my margins are correct. 98% of the time, this template is perfect for everybody. Some people might have cranky printers where they need to change a top or a bottom margin, but typically it's exactly how it should be. And it works great for you. But always print one first, and then you can put it up against, if my printer would ever print, you can put it up against here just to make sure that it's all lined up nice and neat. Here we go. So I just do this. So I've got my arrow. Let me find it. So I just line it up to make sure I can see through it when I hold it up to the sun. Okay, yeah, that's in the perfect place. And then I can actually run the label sheet through.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's a good method.
Okay, that's what I do. Just put an arrow on the first sheet so that you know what way you're supposed to put the piece of paper in. What I find is that gravity fed printers, if you're ever buying one, is way better than the kind where the paper has to go up and over and around. So if you can ever get a gravity fed, that's what you really want to do. Now my printer is printing a whole boatload of stuff. But that's what you want. So that's how you do a label. Obviously, this was a very messy demonstration. So that's just the way it goes. But you guys have recorded it. And if I have time, I'll make another one that actually is better. I'm sure I will before the next class. But either way, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Make sure that you know what way your paper is supposed to go in, and make sure that you do a test run to make sure that the margins are appropriate for your sheets, because you only have a certain number of blank labels available to you within each kit. I'm surprised you don't have yours, Yvonne, because you're like next door to me.
I keep on. I was like, no.
All right, I'll do a tracking. I need to track you, and I need to track Cindy just to see Cindy should be there today or tomorrow, I think, but yours should have been there.
Yeah, you did it. I mean, you
Yeah, I shipped it.
Yeah.
Cindy is different. She's in Arizona. It should take a little bit longer, but I mean, Rita got hers and she's in Rhode Island.
Yeah. Thank you for sending those things, by the way. It's wonderful.
Absolutely.
Maybe we should verify the address. And then, I want to say, Miss Kathi, thank you for your passion, your
Right.
commitment, and most of all, your patience.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
You're welcome. There's no bad question. In fact, the questions have all been things that I should have talked about anyhow. So I'm loving it. It's great.
I'm going to circle back one more time and say, when I asked about the definition for project, I still got the definition for task, not for project. just so you know. Yeah. So
The
when I asked,
definition between a task and a project.
so everyone defined task, that quick task, that it still didn't define project, FYI. But Leslie gave an amazing definition.
Thank you.
Isn't it? I would think that you have a project file folder, like a hanging file folder, and in it you have the tasks that there would be several files in it.
Yeah,
No?
so a projects folder is going to be its own folder. And if it turns into a major project, it'll have its own folder behind the current projects folder.
All right.
The quick task is just simply a quick task.
Okay.
So, and that's going to be your
tasks.
to-do notebook.
And you can have quick tasks that relate to a project, but what actually constitutes a project? So how many, that's the part that I was asking.
A project is when you have more than two or three pieces of paper about it. Then it gets its own folder and it turns itself into a project. I mean, they're all so take, for instance, let me give you another scenario.
Okay.
I decide that I'm going to write my Going Green, Getting Organized article, right? So I find this one thing and I'm like, I should write that article. So I tear out that piece of paper and I throw it in my current projects folder. Then I keep hitting it. I've hit it a couple weeks and I'm like, no, I'm not ever going to do that. I chuck it. Or I hit it and I'm like, yeah, now I'm inspired. I can totally write this article quickly. I have the time. I'm going to actually start collecting information about it. And I'm going to start putting it in that. I'm going to make its own folder called Going Green Organizing. And I'm going to start putting in all my research into there. And then I'm eventually going to, and that's behind the current projects folder. It's its own thing because now it's its own project entity.
Okay.
Then I will write the project and then it'll go away.
Okay. My category is ideation. So
I love it.
ideas that I have, but I don't necessarily know that I'm moving forward with them. So that I like that. I like what you just said.
That's the main,
And
that's
I apologize for being such a stickler, but this is a point of contention for a lot of people. And that's why I was being,
No, it is absolutely. I mean, it's like, oh, I want to write this article. Well, where am I going to put that? It's not a quick task. I'm going to stick it in the current projects folder. And once I pass it 3 or 4 times, I don't do anything about it. It means it's not current and I'm going to chuck it. Yeah. Obviously, I've hit it like 3 or 4 weeks in a row and I lost my mojo around it and I don't care. So I'm going to throw it out. Yeah. Or I care and it's going to turn into a real bona fide project and I'm going to actually write the article.
Yeah.
And
things
all
come
of
and go.
all of this is in the stepper.
Yes.
Here's
So your to-do book, Rita, the regular generic to-do book, is going to be probably under current projects.
Okay.
Because they're not a quick task for you. There's like something that you really got to do something about. So to put that little spiral notebook in the current projects folder. Just retitle the folder that you had to-dos.
Yeah.
Because to do or not to do is way too generic.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything. A to-do means
poetic.
In fact, your whole action system is to do.
Right. That's true.
Right.
Yeah, you could call the whole dang action system a to-do system if you wanted.
Yeah.
It is a to-do system. It's a system to get your to-dos done.
Well, I think of the stepper as the action system, right?
Yes.
That everything in there is action. The rest is in your file cabinet.
Yeah,
So,
the stuff that's in your file cabinet is not in action,
Right. Right.
unless it's like tax receipts that you're filing for next year's tax return,
Yeah.
you know, but otherwise it's not.
Yeah. It's storage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, that's great. And then I'd like to talk to you, Leslie, as well. I had some ideas for how you can tackle some of your stuff. So
Great.
yeah. So if you'd like, what I'll do is I'll can we Voxer each other in private?
Oh,
Well,
yeah. I'd love that.
I'll leave.
I'm sorry, Rita.
I will leave, and then you're left with whoever you're with.
and she doesn't know how to make it not record, so that's not helpful.
I'll Voxer you, Kathy.
Yeah. Well, you got, why don't you stop recording, Yvonne, and you pop off, and then Leslie and I can talk real quick.
Okay,
I can't right now, Kathy, but
Oh,
thank
okay.
you. I'd love to, but
No
I will
problem.
Voxer you, and we can
Yeah,
either
we
make a
ran,
time
we
or
ran
we can-
over, so we will talk later. Thank you
Very
guys
good.
so much.
This
Thanks
was
for all
so
your help,
good.
Yvonne.
you bet. You bet.
Yeah,
You're
she's
the best.
awesome, as are you.
Hot tomato. You're the best. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.